For decades, airlines have struggled to achieve sustained financial success operating long-haul low-cost flights, given the ridiculously high costs associated with these flights. Nonetheless, a recent wave of airlines have found success with this kind of business model, which includes carriers primarily based out of Europe and the Asia-Pacific region. One of the many airlines that have succeeded in this market is German airline Condor, which operates a diverse network comprising leisure routes, medium-haul services to major cities, and some long-haul flights to underserved non-leisure destinations. This video will take a look at the Condor fleet and examine how it's been able to succeed. Well, as per tradition on this channel, let's first look at the Condor fleet as it stands in early November 2024. According to planespotters.net, there are 65 aircraft operated by the German airline. This consists of 19 Airbus A320-200s, 1 A320neo, 13 A321-200s, 6 A321neos, 17 A330-900s, and 9 Boeing 757-300s. There are also more A320neo and A330neo family aircraft yet to be delivered, so numbers may change in the near future. The aircraft serve several German cities including Düsseldorf, Hamburg, Berlin, Leipzig, Nuremberg, Munich, and Stuttgart. The majority of its operations appear to be based at Frankfurt, where its A330-900s take passengers to destinations in North America, the Caribbean, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Commencing operations in 1956, nearly 70 years ago, Condor has evolved significantly from its original form to become a truly global airline that operates a unique hybrid network. The carrier has managed to succeed by operating with fares that offer a noticeable decrease from those of full-service network airlines. As a result, Condor has found a niche serving a hybrid clientele, one that allows it to still offer affordable fares and high-quality services while not breaking the bank. While carriers like Ryanair typically manage to achieve lower costs by heavily streamlining all operational expenses, one thing that they cannot reduce is the costs associated with fueling their aircraft. Airlines can attempt to hedge their fuel supplies by buying in bulk when prices are low, however, they are for the most part still at the whim of global energy prices. For longer flights, such as those operated by long-haul ultra-low-cost carriers, fuel becomes a larger and more important part of the cost picture. Long-haul ultra-low-cost carriers therefore struggle to maintain healthy bottom lines. History has shown us that such a business model has struggled extensively over the years. Some long-haul ultra-low-cost airlines that have failed in the past include Norwegian Air Shuttle, WOW Air, and XL Airways France. Condor, as we know it today, first began experimenting with low-cost models back in 1998 when it announced a fully owned low-cost subsidiary named Condor Berlin, which was headquartered out of Berlin's Schönefeld Airport. The new carrier was intended to rival other German budget airlines like Air Berlin. Through extensive cost-cutting techniques, the airline believed that it could lower operational costs for this subsidiary by around 20%, according to Flight International. During the next decade, the airline would continue to experiment with these kinds of business models and cost-cutting techniques, which would eventually allow the airline to continue growing and expanding. During the mid-2000s, Condor slowly began transitioning to ownership by Thomas Cook, a leisure airline that was known for offering reduced fares. Over the next 15 years, the airline would grow under Thomas Cook's management, slowly adopting more and more elements of the parent company's leisure-oriented, budget-friendly model. Thomas Cook would eventually collapse in 2019, and as a result, the carrier would again come under new management. On May 20, 2021, Attestor Capital, a London-based private investment firm, acquired a 51% controlling stake in the airline, a deal that involved a hefty cash infusion of over $500 million. Under new leadership, Condor quickly invested in fleet improvement, announcing an order for Airbus A330-900 aircraft. In April 2022, the carrier began its large-scale transformation plan, with a new logo being introduced alongside a bold livery that includes vertical stripes down the full length of the aircraft. In July 2022, the airline announced orders for Airbus A320neo family jets amid a move to transition its fleet towards more efficient narrow-body aircraft. When the airline's first A330-900neo took off on December 27, 2022, the carrier's large-scale transition towards a new hybrid model for the post-pandemic era was well underway, according to German media outlet Aero Telegraph. Condor has, since the pandemic, become an airline focused on broad diversification of its customer demographic. While leisure-oriented airlines have traditionally focused on occasional leisure travelers, the collapse of Thomas Cook demonstrated that this model needs to be adjusted for the 2020s. As a result, Condor today caters to a broader demographic. The airline does still serve several core leisure routes, such as those from its German hubs to island destinations in the Caribbean, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean. But instead of just targeting leisure travelers looking for a good deal on a once or twice per year vacation, the airline now operates flights that cater to higher-end vacationers, with fully lie-flat seats available in its premium cabin. Furthermore, the airline operates some flights to non-traditional long-haul destinations, including Anchorage, San Antonio, and Portland. When serving these destinations, Condor is targeting a new kind of traveller, one that strays far from its traditional passenger type seen during the days of Thomas Cook ownership. The airline now targets passengers visiting friends or relatives and may even appeal to occasional business travellers, as it operates the only non-stop flight across the Atlantic from many such airports. Furthermore, the airline is likely aiming to stimulate leisure demand by creating destinations with affordable low-cost flights, something which was pioneered by the airlines founded by industry titan David Neeleman. One of the strangest routes we've seen the airline operate is a non-stop service between Whitehorse and Frankfurt. As highlighted by CBC, these flights have been a summer staple for over 2 decades and mainly appealed to German adventure seekers looking to explore the great outdoors of northern Canada. It was the only regularly scheduled flight from Europe to Canada's north. This obscure service is in limbo at the moment, as Condor's replacement of the Boeing 767 with the A330neo means that its long-haul jets are now too large for Whitehorse's runways. This is especially the case with the airport's secondary runway, which is now the only one available as the main runway gets repaved. At the end of the day, Condor has found success operating a broader business model, one which offers passengers looking for a deal and reduced fares while operating legacy airline-style services for others. While a private company does not disclose financial statements to the public, we can still gauge that this model has brought some success to the airline, as it continues to expand its fleet and open new routes year after year. What are your thoughts on the Condor fleet and its operating style? Have you ever flown with the airline? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.